If you have any doubts, this approach has the ability to enhance your life in a way that cannot be undone and will continue to do so for as long as you live. What you are going to learn is the ladies' unspoken ranking system for men. It is currently considered to be one of the biggest myths of all time and has completely taken over the imaginations of all the men on the earth. It's amazing how much more confident they are. One of the biggest fallacies of all time is the notion that one is not attractive enough. Most of us first picture someone who is physically attractive when we hear the word attractive. However, attractiveness isn't only based on outward appearance, and it's important to comprehend the secret ranking system that women use to evaluate men. If you consider yourself to be extremely attractive, but the majority of us hear the word attractive, we immediately see a person with exceptional physical attributes. You must be aware of the ranking system used by guys for girls since as guys, we frequently place the most emphasis on a girl's outward beauty. Moreover, as harsh as it may sound, this is our main criterion for determining if a girl is attractive to men. Despite the fact that we also care about other qualities, such as intelligence, physical appearance is the main thing we take into account when evaluating girls. Other considerations include making sure a woman isn't mad, rather than physical appeal or attractiveness, which ultimately excite us. This is because, as men, we use a system that is almost entirely based on outward appearances. You might believe that women use the same approach as men, or that they would employ the same methodology. Consider the fact that men normally just have 1 or 2 objects in the shower, whereas women typically have 8 to 10 women. Both of these are viable lines of thinking that are incorrect because men tend to have a more clear method to thinking about things. Nevertheless, employ a completely different scoring system than men, which discourages many men. Girls use a secret ranking system that emphasizes an individual's total attractiveness more than any one characteristic, because the procedure is too complicated, such as their level of physical appeal. Because of this, even a man like Jeff Bezos, one of the richest men in the world, could find that his wife decides to leave him. A millionaire who is shy and weak in confidence on the inside can be considered to have scored 1,000,000 points overall, while someone who is expected to be a complete loser by society could wind up having an incredibly attractive woman. If this guy were compared to someone who is insolvent but exudes confidence, aggressiveness, and strong social position in a group, that person would be the latter. You would observe that the majority of girls would rate the bankrupt guy higher overall or as more attractive than the millionaire guys. This is due to the bankrupt man's high level of social standing and aggressiveness in his circle of friends. As we think about how appealing we are to women, we frequently assume that it all comes down to one factor, such as our physical beauty or good looks. However, a female is usually drawn to them very instantaneously when they glance at her, usually within a second or two. When they glance at her, girls can typically tell whether they are attracted to them almost immediately, usually within a couple of seconds. On the other hand, if one evaluates a man's overall score from highest to lowest, in addition to the action attributes, tangible qualities like assertiveness, confidence, and power are awarded. Before meeting the person, you won't be able to know how external elements like money, your car, the house you live in, and the clothes you wear all affect your overall score. But no matter how important they are, they will never be as significant as intangible traits or skills. How many of us knew 1 or 2 of the party boys in high school who were not physically appealing, but were viewed as having great social standing because they were often giving parties and because girls tended to give them a higher overall score because of who they knew, when some of their other advantageous traits were combined? But when you consider that every woman ranks men and women slightly differently, it gets much more interesting. If this is the case, then for one girl but not another, physical appearances may be the most important characteristic in settings where they are not important. For instance, some young women might not care about their financial condition or attractiveness and instead place a larger priority on continuing their education or giving their degree of confidence the highest possible score. In this system, all a man has to do to win is to demonstrate to a woman that he has a higher overall score than she does. But it's crucial to keep in mind that, as humans, we seek for partners who we perceive to be within our grasp. We typically choose persons who have scores that are similar to our own because it is well known that men want to date down while women prefer to date up. As a result, It is best to stay away from persons that rank either exceedingly high or incredibly low in respect to your own score in the ranking system. What does this mean for men who don't have a lot of physical attractiveness or who are viewed as ordinary by most women? This indicates that you must endeavor to raise your score along with it. Thank you for listening, and I hope to speak with you again soon.